Ladies, stop waking up like a mistake. You weren't born to just scroll, snooze, and survive. You were born to wake up like a queen on a mission. Because the way you start your morning is the way you start your life every single day. And if you're waking up defeated, distracted, or desperate for validation, you're robbing your power before the sun even rises. So hear this loud. There are 5 things every powerful, high-value woman does every single morning. And if you do them, no one, and I mean no one, can stop your glow, your growth, or your greatness. Let's talk about how to own your mornings and rule your world. Do you know what most people do the moment they open their eyes? They grab their phones. They check their notifications, scroll through social media, compare their lives with others, and before their feet even touch the ground, their soul is already exhausted. Their mind is hijacked, their peace is disturbed, and their worth is measured by likes and filters. And that's exactly where the downfall begins. But the woman who wins, she doesn't wake up to chaos. She wakes up to clarity. She doesn't check the world, she checks in with herself. Silence before screens isn't just a lifestyle choice. It's a declaration, a rebellion. It's saying, before the world tells me who I am, I will decide who I choose to be today. Imagine this. You open your eyes. The sun hasn't fully risen yet. Your room is quiet. There's no buzz, no beep, no breaking news. Just your breath. Just your heartbeat. Just you. In that silence, you're not nobody. You're everything. You are potential. You are peace. You are the main character. Now compare that to waking up and seeing a message from your ex. A trending post that reminds you of everything you lack. An email from your boss triggering your anxiety. You've just started your day and already you've surrendered your control. You've allowed the noise to dictate your narrative. Let me tell you something that no one will scream from a rooftop. The world doesn't owe you peace. You have to create it. And it starts in silence. Look at some of the most confident women around you. The ones who walk like the world is theirs. The ones who speak softly but carry massive presence. They didn't get that way by waking up to chaos. They built inner stillness like a muscle. They carved out time for themselves before anyone else got a piece of them. Think of a surgeon before a high-risk operation. She doesn't rush in distracted. She takes a moment. She breathes. She focuses. Why? Because what she does requires precision. It requires calm. And your life? It's no different. You are performing emotional surgery every single day. On your heart, on your relationships, on your dreams. Don't enter the battlefield half awake and mentally fragmented. Here's something powerful. In silence, your real thoughts come out. Not the ones fed by reels or tweets. Not the ones borrowed from influencers. Your thoughts. The ones you buried. The ones whispering, start your business. Leave that toxic friend. Forgive yourself. In that space where no one is watching, your truth is louder. Let's talk real life. Imagine you're a mother. Your kids are tugging at you. The breakfast is burning and your phone is ringing. You've got 15 things to do before 9 a.m. If you gave yourself just 10 silent minutes before all that, just 10, you'd show up with more calm, more patience, more presence. Because your cup would be full, before they started drinking from it. Or maybe you're a college girl, tired of feeling behind in life. You wake up and scroll through that girl routines, feeling worse about yourself. But if you paused, looked out your window, and listened to your own breath, you'd realize, I don't need to be her, I just need to meet me. Silence is where you reset your nervous system, where your soul exhales, where your intuition whispers. It's where you stop reacting to life and start creating it. It's not about being spiritual or aesthetic. It's survival. It's strategy. It's power. When you give yourself silence before screens, you're not just making a healthy habit, you're reclaiming your identity. You're choosing presence over pressure. And in a world that profits from your distractions, silence becomes your rebellion, your power move, your crown. You want to change your life? Then change the way you talk to yourself every morning. Affirmation isn't just some feel-good mantra written on a Pinterest board. It's not just I am enough scribbled on a sticky note. No, affirmation with attitude is about owning your power like you mean it. Like you survived something. Like your scars aren't shame. They're proof that you didn't give up. Most people whisper their worth like it's a secret. But queens, they say it like it's law. They say, I'm not hoping to be chosen. I am already the prize. That's the difference. Imagine a woman walking into a meeting where no one expects her to lead. She straightens her back, lifts her chin, and says under her breath, I am the smartest voice in this room. I belong here. And guess what? The room shifts. Because energy doesn't lie. When you affirm yourself with conviction, the world listens differently. Think about a girl standing in front of the mirror, battling insecurities. Maybe she was told she wasn't beautiful enough, tall enough, skinny enough. Maybe someone made her believe she was too much or not enough. But today, she looks herself in the eye and says, I am not here to shrink. I am not a shadow. I am fire. I am light. I am worthy, just as I am. She doesn't whisper it, she declares it. Because she's done waiting for someone else to see her value first. Or take the single mom who's exhausted, hair tied up, bills on the table, and a crying child in her arms. She's barely holding on. But in the mirror, she tells herself, I am strong enough for today. I am doing more than enough. You can do more than enough. You can be careful. You can be kind. You can be doing more than enough. She determines to share her story, and she determines to do more than enough. She determines to share her story, and she determines to do more than enough. My child sees a warrior, not a woman falling apart. That affirmation isn't just self-love. It's her survival fuel. It's her fight song. And that student, the one who failed an exam and feels like giving up. Everyone's moving ahead and he feels stuck. But the moment he wakes up, he says, I am not my mistakes. I am a comeback in motion. I don't fail. I learn. I'm still in the game and I will rise. That shift, that inner dialogue, that's what separates those who grow from those who stay broken. Even in relationships, think of the woman who got ghosted, rejected, overlooked. Instead of chasing or crying, she gets up, breathes deep, and says, I do not chase love. I embody love. I attract what aligns. I lose nothing real when I choose myself. And suddenly, she's no longer looking for closure. She is the closure. That's affirmation with attitude. This isn't toxic positivity. This is real, raw self-command. This is choosing to speak life into your mornings and asking yourself, I live my life for this moment. This is not the game the bankers play, the game the real estate guys play. This isn't toxic positivity. This is not a game that not in a fun moment, the game that I play even when your nights were full of pain. This is knowing your words build your reality. That your brain believes what you repeat. And that your voice can either chain you to your past or launch you into your power. It's not about standing in front of a mirror saying, I am confident, with dead eyes. It's about standing in the mess, the chaos, the fear, and saying it anyway. Saying, I am becoming, I am enough. I am allowed to take up space. I am not for everyone, but I am always for me. You don't need perfect circumstances to speak power over yourself. You just need the courage to believe that your voice matters, especially when no one else is cheering. You are not waiting for someone to hand you a crown. You're waking up, reminding yourself who you are and fixing it on your own head. Because the woman who affirms herself with attitude doesn't need to be loud to be heard. Her presence is her proof. Her words are her armor. Her mindset, unshakable. There's a secret to becoming powerful, magnetic, unforgettable, and it's hidden in the way you move before you even feel ready. You don't wait for confidence to show up. You summon it through motion. You move like you're already winning. Not because everything is perfect, but because your energy is saying, I've already claimed the victory. I'm just walking toward it now. Think about it. How does a champion enter the arena not with hesitation, with presence, with precision, with posture that says, I've done the work. I belong here. And even if they're scared, even if the odds are stacked against them, their body language speaks before their mouth ever opens. That's what you need to tap into. Every morning, imagine a woman getting ready in front of her mirror. She's got bills due, a deadline at work, and a heart that's healing. But watch the way she lifts her head. Watch the way she puts on that lipstick. She's not rushing. She's not apologizing for her reflection. Her walk from the mirror to the door, a whole mood. That's not fashion, it's frequency. It's I may not feel ready, but I'm going anyway. Or think of the girl who walks into the gym, insecure about her body, comparing herself to the fit influencers online. But instead of hiding, she ties her hair back, lifts her chin, and moves through that space like she owns it. Not because she looks like a fitness model, but because she's there. She showed up. Her movement says this body carries strength. This mind is determined. And this woman is not quitting. Confidence isn't an emotion. It's a decision. It's in how you stand when no one's watching. It's in how you walk into the classroom after failing a test. It's in how you show up to work, even after being overlooked for the promotion. It's in how you dance in your kitchen, even when life feels heavy. That motion, that energy, that's your rebellion against fear. That's your declaration that you're not waiting to feel good. You're moving like you already are. Think of the entrepreneur who wakes up with zero sales, but dresses like she's about to land $1 million deal. She moves through her morning like a CEO. Because success isn't just about money, it's about identity. And when you move like you already have it, you magnetize it. She doesn't slouch through her day hoping for luck. She commands it with her movement, her mindset, her rhythm. And what about the woman healing from heartbreak? She's crying at night, but in the morning, she still shows up. She puts on her heels, she walks into that cafe with elegance, not to be noticed, but because she refuses to shrink. Her walk says, I am still whole. I am still divine. You didn't break me. You built me. Movement creates momentum. When your body aligns with the energy of success, your mind follows. And success doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it's in the way you stand still, with strength. Sometimes it's in the calm way you pour your coffee, the grace in your steps, the power in your pace. You don't need the applause to move like a winner. You just need the belief that what you want is already yours. So even if you feel unsure, even if the world hasn't caught up to your greatness yet, move like you're already wearing the crown. Walk like your name is already on the door. Stretch like your body deserves love. Breathe like you own the moment. Smile like your story is unfolding in perfect divine order. Because the energy you move in becomes the life you live in. The mirror isn't just for your face, it's for your soul. Every morning when you stand in front of that reflection, you're not just adjusting your eyeliner or fixing your hair. You're meeting the woman behind the smile, the struggle, the silence. That glass, it sees what the world doesn't. And the question is, what do you see when you look back? Most people treat the mirror like a task. Check the mirror, fix the hair, zoom in on the flaws. But queens, they use the mirror like a ritual. It's their throne, their battlefield, their sanctuary. It's where they check in, not just with how they look, but who they are becoming. Imagine a corporate woman getting ready for work. She's got a big presentation today. The pressure is real, and she's nervous. But as she's putting on her lipstick, she pauses. She looks herself straight in the eyes and says, "You've done harder things than this. You've walked through fire and came out glowing. This room you're walking into, it needs your voice, your ideas, your power." And just like that, the mirror becomes a moment of transformation. Not vanity, victory. Think of a teenager flooded with social media images of impossible perfection. She stands in front of the mirror, tempted to critique every inch of her body. But today, she tries something different. She places her hands on the sink, stares into her own eyes, and whispers, "I am not made to fit in a filter. I am beauty in motion, growth in progress, light in human form." That one moment shifts her entire day. The mirror doesn't lie, but neither does her soul when she speaks truth into it. Or consider the woman healing from betrayal, the kind of heartbreak that changes how you see yourself. She's in her bathroom, looking at the tired eyes, the messy bun, the sadness. But instead of walking away, she leans in. You loved deeply. You gave your all. You were honest. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you rare. And no one's absence can erase your value. That kind of mirror check, It's sacred. It's healing. It's fierce. The mirror check isn't just about putting on a brave face. It's about connecting to your essence. And so tonight is to make your own brave face. It's about connecting to your essence. It's asking yourself, who do I want to be today? Not in the eyes of others, but in your own heart. Because you could wear the most expensive makeup, style your hair perfectly, dress like a magazine cover, and still feel lost if your soul isn't aligned. Think of a stay-at-home mom. She's surrounded by toys, bottles, and chaos. She catches a glimpse of herself in the hallway mirror and almost doesn't recognize the tired woman looking back. But instead of walking away, she stops. She smiles. You are doing the most important job in the world. You are raising greatness while holding your own. You are not just a mother. You are a mirror of miracles. And that mirror check becomes her strength for the day. Even a college student buried in assignments and anxiety, feeling overwhelmed and behind, when she looks in the mirror, she can say, one step at a time, I am not failing, I am learning. I am growing into the version of me that I once dreamed of becoming. And that is the power of reflection, not just seeing, but knowing who you are. This moment, every morning, is not just skincare and selfies. It's soul care. It's where you decide how you're going to show up. Not just to the world, but to yourself. Because the mirror doesn't just reflect the outside, it reveals your truth. If you're brave enough to face it. So don't just check your face. Check your energy. Check your intention. Check your crown, even if it's invisible to others. There's a reason empires are built brick by brick, not by chance, not by chaos, but by design. A woman who wakes up and just lets the day happen to her is already surrendering control. But the woman who wakes up, takes out a pen, and writes her plan, she's not waiting for life to bless her. She's commanding it. You want to level up? Then you have to start planning like a boss. This isn't about having a cute planner with stickers. It's about declaring war on mediocrity. It's about sitting with yourself each morning and asking, what needs to be done to get me closer to the life I deserve? When you plan your day with purpose, you turn time into a weapon instead of a weight. Picture a young woman working a 9-to-5 job, but dreaming of becoming a business owner. Every morning, before she clocks in, she writes down 3 things. Email 2 potential clients. Post 1 piece of content. Learn 1 new skill. It's not grand, it's not flashy, but she's not scrolling aimlessly, she's sowing seeds. Because she's planning not for where she is, but for where she's going. That's boss energy. Or think of the stay-at-home mom who feels like her identity is lost in dishes and diapers. But every morning, she carves out 10 minutes to plan. She writes, read 1 chapter of a book, meditate for 5 minutes, schedule my side hustle calls for the evening. She doesn't let chaos control her. She manages her life with grace and strategy. That's not just planning. That's reclaiming her power. Even students, those buried under assignments, exams, and expectations, they have a choice. One girl wakes up, panics, and rushes. Another wakes up and breathes. She opens her notebook, writes, review chapters 3 to 5, email professor, go for a 20-minute walk to reset. That structure, that clarity, it turns stress into strength. She's not running from pressure, she's managing it like a CEO of her own mind. And then there's the woman healing from heartbreak. Her emotions are everywhere, and grief hits in waves. But instead of drowning in unpredictability, she writes. Journal for 10 minutes. Go for a walk. Focus on my wellness goals. Avoid checking his profile. Her plan becomes her lifeline. She's not just surviving, she's moving forward with intention. Planning isn't about being busy, it's about being intentional. It's saying, my time is too valuable to be wasted on what doesn't build me. When you plan like a boss, you're not just managing your tasks. You're managing your energy, your peace, your future. Picture this. A woman walks into her day with a plan in her hand. People around her are scrambling, reacting, overthinking, but she's calm, focused. She knows where her time is going, and more importantly, where her energy is not going. She doesn't waste minutes explaining herself. Her schedule is her boundary. Her planner is her power. She doesn't wait for motivation. She moves with momentum. Because every line she writes down is a promise to her future self. This is how we show up. This is how we win. This is how we stay unbothered in a world full of distractions. Her plan isn't just paper. It's a blueprint for building something no one else can see yet, but she can feel it. And that's enough. So when others are drifting, she's directing. When others are overwhelmed, she's organized. And when the world finally sees her shine, they'll call it luck. But she'll know it was the plan. Her plan. All along, gratitude isn't just a feel-good emotion, it's a force. A woman who starts her morning in gratitude is a woman who refuses to wake up with lack, fear, or resentment. And when you combine that gratitude with one bold promise to yourself, just one, you don't just start your day, you command it. You become unstoppable. Because you're no longer waking up, reacting to life. You're creating it, leading it, and owning it. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It turns chaos into calm and emptiness into fullness. You could have a million things going wrong, but if you find just one thing going right, your whole soul exhales. Picture a woman with tears in her eyes because her relationship just ended. She feels abandoned, heartbroken, lost. But she sits on her bed, takes a breath, and writes in her journal, I'm grateful for the strength to walk away from what didn't honor me. And then she adds her bold promise, today I will not beg. I will not check his status. I will protect my peace like a queen guards her crown. That's not weakness. That's her power reloading. Think of a student drowning in pressure, expectations, and deadlines. The anxiety is real, but instead of spiraling, she opens her planner and writes, I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn, even when it feels overwhelming. And her promise? Today I will focus on progress, not perfection. I will finish one task at a time without tearing myself apart. That simple declaration rewires her brain. She's not a victim of stress anymore. She's a warrior of discipline. She's a warrior of discipline. Then there's the single mom who's juggling everything. Work, kids, bills, her own sanity. She's tired, but she looks at her kids sleeping peacefully and whispers, I'm grateful for these little hearts that call me mom. And her promise? Today I will not talk down to myself. I will speak to myself like I would to them, with kindness, love, and patience. That moment becomes her emotional armor for the day. That mindset keeps her grounded when life tries to knock her over. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain, it transforms it. It doesn't deny the problem, it reminds you of your power. When you can look at the mess and still say thank you, you've already won half the battle. And when you add a promise, a commitment, a vow, you start sculpting a life you don't have to escape from. Think of a young entrepreneur who just faced a big rejection. She's questioning everything, her product, her voice, her worth. But in her notebook she writes, "I'm grateful for this no. It's pushing me closer to the right yes." And her bold promise, "Today, I will show up anyway. I will market, post, speak, and sell like the right people are watching." That mindset, that's empire building energy. Even in moments of isolation, like a woman sitting alone in her apartment, scrolling through everyone else's highlight reels, she can pause and say, "I'm grateful for my solitude. It's where I meet my truth." And her promise, "Today, I won't compare. I won't chase validation. I will stay loyal to my becoming." That's not just self-love, that's self-leadership. Every day, we are faced with two choices: present or rise. Gratitude makes you rise. And one bold promise, that's the seed you plant in your soul. You water it with action. You protect it with focus. You watch it bloom through the seasons. Because no matter how broken, tired, or uncertain you feel, if you can find one thing to be thankful for and one promise to keep, you're already rewriting your story from the inside out. You want to be extraordinary? Then you must stop living ordinary mornings. Because winners are not born in the spotlight, they are built in the shadows. They are built in the early hours when no one is watching. When you rise with purpose, speak to yourself with love, move like a queen, reflect like a warrior, plan like a visionary, and commit like a lioness, you become unshakable. It's not just what you do, it's how you do it. You can't drag yourself through life and expect it to crown you. You have to rise with presence, with poise, with conviction. You have to tell life, "You don't own me, I own you." Every woman who has ever risen from pain, from poverty, from rejection, from doubt, did so because she took control of her mornings. She made her rituals sacred. She stopped waiting to feel ready and started moving like she already was. You think success is a coincidence? No. Success is a pattern. And it starts the moment you open your eyes. Because how you start your day is how you build your legacy. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's the energy, that's the mindset. You don't get to greatness by accident. You build it, brick by brick, starting with what you do before breakfast. You build it, brick by brick, starting with what you do before breakfast. Steve Jobs said, "If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today?" That question should echo in your heart every single morning, because one day it will be the last. And the regret of not showing up for yourself is heavier than failure ever will be. And Maya Angelou, she once said, "Each morning when I open my eyes, I say to myself, I, not events, have the power to make me happy or unhappy today." You see, start the day, that's what queens do. They decide, they do not drift. So let the world run wild with noise. Let others chase validation. wake up late, scroll through illusions and blame the world. You're not one of them. You're the storm. You're the calm inside it. You are the woman who rises before her fear does. You are the woman who walks into her day already crowned. If you want change, don't chase it. Create it. When you are ready, you are the spark, and you are the cloud. If you want change, don't chase it. Create it. Like Magachti, you are the spark, and you are the cloud. You are beautiful beyond measure when you are part. Like Magachti, you are the spark. If you want confidence, don't wait for it. Walk like it's already yours. If you want success, don't beg for it. Build it when no one else is clapping. Remember this: the world doesn't respond to your intentions, it responds to your standards. And when you raise the standard for how you begin your day, you raise the standard for how you live your entire life. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up, rise. Speak like you mean it. Move like you've already made it. Look in that mirror like you're staring into greatness. Plan like the queen you are. And make one bold promise to yourself. And keep it. Because the woman you're becoming is not a dream. She's already inside you. She's just waiting for you to wake her up. Now listen closely, because this is the moment where your life shifts. You've just been handed the blueprint. Not for perfection, but for power. Not for a fantasy life, but for a fulfilled one. And it doesn't start with money. It doesn't start with followers. It starts in the first 5 minutes of your morning.